Very good morning, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. So, welcome back to the current affairs classes. We are going to start with 17th and 18th December, part 2 today. Okay. Yesterday we have completed part 1. So, this is going to be part 2. I think we have completed till banking news. So, we have to resume from the national and state news discussion. Okay. Let's start with the national news. In the national news category, the first news which we have is there is first ever Ganga River dolphin tagging in Assam. What does it mean? So this is important. First ever tagging of a Ganga river dolphin in Assam, in the state of Assam. This has been tagged, right? So first of all, Ganga river dolphin itself is a very important species of the aquatic or the the riverine ecosystem, to be very specific, right? This is very important species in the riverine ecosystem, balances the ecosystem. Okay. What about this tagging? And remember the state Assam. In the Assam, it has been tagged first. This tagging basically tagging of these species and animals like tigers, they put satellite based chips, right? So what it helps in proper monitoring of these species, monitoring of their movement, monitoring of their habitat related movements, right? So it helps us understand how they are moving, what are their migratory patterns if they are migratory species, for example, right? So it helps in better conservation efforts. This is the aim of tagging them with proper chips to track their movements. So this is the thing, first ever Ganges river dolphin has been tagged. And this initiative was conducted under the auspices of Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Okay. Implemented by Wildlife Institute of India. Remember the implementing agency as well. They can ask you implementing agency differently. So this first ever tagging of Ganga river dolphin, this was implemented in the state of Assam by Wildlife Institute of India, in collaboration with Assam Forest Department. Okay. Now, since Gangetic river dolphin is in news, so its static portion remains important. Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act 1972, it has been placed, right? There are these different schedules in the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Placing specific species in a particular schedule means something. This is not coming out of nowhere. Remember this thing. I'm giving you this thing to read about. This is going to add your miscellaneous understanding of the environmental laws, right? So I'm giving you as a homework, go and read about the importance of placing these species in different schedules of Wildlife Protection Act. Suppose there is a species placed in Schedule 4 of the Wildlife Protection Act. What does that mean? It is not general categorization, right? It has implication. Certain plant species, if they are placed in certain schedule, that means you cannot grow them without permission, right? So certain category would mean that you cannot poach them, right? You cannot harm them, you cannot make them, puppet or whatever you want to do. So this is the thing. So this is importance of Wildlife Protection Act. Different schedules have different applications. I hope you will be reading about this, right? So go and read. So just as of now, remember the Gangetic dolphin, Schedule 1 belongs to Schedule 1 of Indian Wildlife Protection Act. Okay. And what about the IUCN status? So Gangetic dolphin ka IUCN status is endangered. What is this IUCN status? IUCN status is basically, IUCN tracks the population of these species globally, and then on the basis of their number of individuals surviving, what are the threats looming on their survival, they give them certain status, whether they are critically endangered, whether they are vulnerable, close to extinction, no risk or endangered, right? All these categories are there. So this Gangetic dolphin status is endangered. It is at a risk. But this is very important species for riverine ecosystem, remember. Next you have, India has become the third largest exporter of these smartphones. This is very important data. India has become third largest exporter of these smartphones. Remember this? India is the third largest exporter of smartphones, right? Third rank. This same question, I think, smartphone or something, or a startup rank was asked in the IRDAI phase 1 examination, right? Startup rank was asked. So similar questions can be asked further. Remember, for all the upcoming examinations, presently as of now, if it gets updated, will be updated in the current affairs. But as of now, India is the third largest exporter of smartphones. Remember this in the world. Then in November 2024, countries' smartphone exports have also breached 20,000 crore rupees mark in a single month. So this is quite significant. Then you have Science and Tech Ministry has launched Kisan Kavach. Remember, Science and Tech Ministry has launched Kisan Kavach. Now this can be important as well. What is this Kisan Kavach? It is India's first of its kind anti-pesticide bodysuit. So this is going to be a bodysuit provided to farmers to prevent them from the harmful impacts of these pesticides which they use in their farms, right? So this is anti-pesticide bodysuit. They can wear this. Price will be 4,000 rupees per kit. Then it has been developed by scientists affiliated to the Department of Biotechnology. Biotechnology department has developed this. It is designed to protect farmers from the harmful effects of pesticide exposure, as I have told you. So this can be important to protect them from the side effects of pesticides. Next you have Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has organized Eco Creativity and Innovation Hackathon. So which ministry? MOEFCC has organized this hackathon on eco creativity and innovation. Where? In New Delhi. This was basically organized to develop skills and ideas, call for ideas from the young people to solve the environmental issues with innovative models and ideas, right? The contemporary environmental issues. So this was the thing. It was launched on 5th June 2024, remember. It was launched on 5th June. It was launched at Code Mitra platform, okay? Launched by PyJam Foundation, and it has been supported by Ministry of Forest Climate Change. So remember these important facts about this hackathon as well. Eco creativity launch date, remember, can be important for this hackathon. 5th June, launched at Code Mitra by PyJam Foundation and supported by the ministry. I hope you will be remembering this. Moving on to the next news. You have Sembcorp Industries arm, Sembcorp Green Infrastructure or Green Infra, Sembcorp Green Infra. It has secured 150 megawatt solar project with 300 megawatt hours battery energy storage system from Solar Energy Corporation of India Limited. So from SECI it has received this project. Okay, not so much important, just remember the broader fact. Now this can be important. The National Institute of Siddha, remember this, NIS, National Institute of Siddha, located where? Located in Tambaram, Chennai. In Tambaram, Chennai, it has created Guinness World Record. Okay, so it has created Guinness World Record for what? Remember, for what? For the Varman therapy. Varman therapy. Providing Varman therapy, treating by Varman therapy 567 individuals simultaneously. Treating 567 individuals simultaneously by Varman therapy. Which institute? National Institute of Siddha. What is this Varman therapy? Varman therapy, like you have, acupressure therapy, you have the homeopathy, you have the allopathy. Varman therapy is basically kind of therapy which uses certain pressure points on the body, right? So it helps you treat body pain, other disorders, etc. by identifying certain points, specific points on the body, and then putting pressure onto that. So this kind of therapy is this Varman therapy. Remember, Chennai based it is. Second one you have is Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs, CBIC. It has withdrawn what? It has withdrawn customs duty deferment for solar power companies using imported goods in bonded warehouses. Okay, So it has withdrawn the deferment of the customs duty for solar power companies using imported goods, who are using imported goods in the bonded warehouses. Now what does that mean? That means there will be no more duty free import of solar power items. Now what happens is, try to understand this news like this. First of all, what is bonded warehouse? Bonded warehouses are the places where your export import items, they are kept without paying the custom duties onto it until they are released. So this is basically deferred kind of payment mechanism, right? It helps the importers particularly and exporters in cash management, in the management of the cash flow, right? In the cash flow management. Okay. So this thing, bonded warehouses mein you can keep such items without, until it releases to be shipped outside, or say to be further uh, sell this in the market. Until it is released, there is no custom duty paid on to this. So this is deferred payment, but now it has been withdrawn by CBIC. That means this is not available. Okay. Now there will be no duty free import. This is going to increase prices of such solar panels and solar based equipments in India now, the imported ones. If we produce it domestically and we are not importing any component from the outside, that would be okay, right? So this can be kind of import substitution strategy as well, but then we will have to develop our own production capability in this regard. 17th December it has been effective. Okay. I hope this is clear. Then next you have India's data center market. Data center market is set to surpass $100 billion investments by 2027. Okay. So recent data shows that India's data center market is growing very fast. What is data center? Data centers, they provide you infrastructure for the IT components and all, right? Data centers, they provide the they are the infrastructure backbone of the telecom, IT sector, etc. They provide you the infra. Now, this investment is going to surpass $100 billion in India from 2027, by 2027. Also, if you look at the dominant market, so Mumbai is holding 49% of India's total data center capacity. Okay. Mumbai is holding 49% of India's total data center capacity. Remember this. Which city? Mumbai. 49% of total data center capacity. And particularly the data center demand, so much of demand in the data center is coming from where? So much of demand in the data center is coming from key areas like the BFSI, banking, financial services, right? BFSI, tech sector, generative AI. So remember, these are the sectoral distribution from which the demand is coming. Then you have Ministry of Ayush. It has developed a central sector scheme for promotion of international cooperation for Ayush. Ayush is Ayurveda, Yoga, Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha and Soriga and homeopathy, right? So remember this, to promote and strengthen awareness about the Ayush system of medicine at the international level. This scheme has been out, and for this purpose only the Ayush ministry has its chairs outside India. Chairs, right? What kind of chairs? Academic chairs outside India. Academic Ayush chairs outside India. So this is a probable area of question. Remember all these 5 countries where the Ayush has its chairs. So these academic chairs, they would mean that they are collaborating with those countries to make the students, the people aware of this Ayush method of medicines and treatment, right? So which are the 5 countries? Bangladesh, Australia, Mauritius, Latvia and Malaysia. Remember, Bangladesh, Australia, Mauritius, Latvia and Malaysia. These are the 5 countries. Then moving on to state news. State news mein you have Telangana government introducing new Bhu Bharati Bill 2024. This is to reform their revenue system, land revenue system. Okay, this much only is relevant here, nothing else. So just remember which state has recently introduced this bill to reform the land revenue. Telangana. Then Bharti Airtel, this can be important. Bharti Airtel has become first private sector telecom operator to provide mobile services in 3 districts of the Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, so this is first private telecom operator, Bharti Airtel, to launch mobile services in 3 districts, the Kupwara, Baramulla and Bandipur districts of Jammu and Kashmir. Kupwara, Baramulla and Bandipur. Okay, and for this purpose, Airtel has collaborated with Indian Army. Remember this thing as well. Collaboration with Indian Army. Moving on to international news segment, you have Sweden's parliament. Sweden's parliament has approved a new defense plan, okay, whereby they have increased their military budget. This much only will be important. You don't have to remember the exact budget, right? Just remember they have recently increased the military budget. Then next, now this can be important. India is among the other 39 nations, 39 countries who will have free visa or visa-free travel to Sri Lanka. Or free visas to travel to Sri Lanka, okay, from January 2025. Now this is coming from Sri Lanka. You know what has happened with Sri Lanka. If you try to understand the background of the news, so Sri Lanka is providing, first of all, the fact is 39 countries, okay, remember, 39 countries they are providing free visas to travel to Sri Lanka from January 2025. So if you want to go, you can go, right? Free visa will be provided. Now why? Because you see, pandemic is the eyewitness for Sri Lanka that reliance on one source for the development of your economy can be very disastrous, right? For example, Sri Lankan economy was heavily dependent on tourism sector for their growth. During Corona pandemic, you see lockdown has happened and a lot of tourism activities, they got almost disrupted or disconnected, right? So suddenly there was a downfall and a sudden downfall of the economic indicators in the country, in the Sri Lanka, right? So to boost the tourism sector and revive the economy, Sri Lankan economy almost collapsed, right? To revive the economy, these are efforts coming from Sri Lanka. Then moving to MOUs, mergers and acquisition sector section. Now this section, you only have to remember the important facts, okay? Nothing else. First of all, Tata Steel UK has signed an agreement with British construction equipment manufacturer JCB to supply green steel from Port Talbot after completing its transformation plans. They will be supplying green steel, okay? Now, very important thing, this might not be very important, but the definition of green steel is very important. If you remember, in the previous CA classes, I have told you, Government of India has first attempted to define green steel. What will be 5-star green steel, 4-star graded green steel, 3-star graded green steel? I hope you remember the definition. If you do not, please go back to the content and try to remember that. That can be a probable area of question, I'm telling you again, right? So remember the definition of green steel. So this is to provide green steel. Tata Steel UK and JCB have signed an MOU. Then you have ITC hotels demerger to come into effect from January 1, 2025. Okay. So Kolkata based ITC has announced that all the approvals are in place to for the demerger of ITC hotels. Okay. Going to demerge between ITC Limited and ITC Hotels Limited. So this is going to be a demerger, opposite of the merger, right? Going to be a demerger between ITC Limited and ITC Hotels Limited. They are going to demerge, okay? This is the thing. Next one is Grammarly. Grammarly has acquired the Coda startup, which is productivity startup, okay? Now, after this acquisition, they are going to integrate Coda docs and Grammarly's AI-powered writing assistant. So Grammarly, you know, is a writing assistant you must have seen when you write up mails. If you are not very sure about the grammar, it helps you in writing, right? So it is a writing assistant. Now, Grammarly AI-powered writing assistant, they want to enhance productivity by connecting to various work systems. So their productivity they are trying to enhance, just this thing remember. So Grammarly has acquired startup Coda. This much only is relevant. Then you have DPIIT, Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, has partnered with HDFC Bank and Tele Solutions Private Limited. Why? To empower startups with world-class banking and financial services. Okay. They will be, by this collaboration, they will be addressing the issues like critical challenges faced by startups like financial management, compliance, marketing, digitization, investment preparedness and all. So they are trying to boost the startup ecosystem with this. Next one is CDOT and Silesium Circuits. They have signed agreement. Okay. CDOT and Silesium Circuits Private Limited for agreement for design and development of LEO satellite components and GNSS RF front and ASIC. LEO satellite components, okay. The lower Earth orbit satellite components and GNSS RF front and ASIC. Now, under this, they will be trying to design, develop and commercialize telecommunication products, make them more advanced. Telecommunication and generally communication satellites, they are placed in these LEO, lower Earth orbits, right? Remote sensing satellites, etc. So this is for that. Next one is your CSIR and AIMS Delhi. They have signed an MOU to provide formal basis for initiating interaction between the two organizations to harness their strengths in medical research so as to enhance the delivery of the healthcare services and tackle the critical health challenges in India, right? So this is healthcare revolution kind of MOU. Then Denmark-based Bavarian Nordic, which is a biotech company, Bavarian Nordic, it has signed an agreement with the world's largest vaccine manufacturer, the Serum Institute of India. Serum Institute of India. Why? To make the Danish biotech firm's mpox shot. So recently you see various countries have witnessed the outbreak of monkeypox, right? So to develop the mpox shot, it has signed this agreement with Serum Institute of India. This can be important. Remember, Bavarian Nordic and Serum Institute of India agreement for mpox shot. Okay, the monkeypox. Then next is UK government has approved Bharti Global's acquisition of 24.5% stake in Bharti Televentures. This much only is relevant from here. Then Daikin India has formed a joint venture with Taiwanese AC compressor maker Reiki Precision to manufacture, design and sell the compressors, okay, for the AC in the overseas market, domestic as well as overseas market. Now, one important fact coming out of here is the first facility fully owned by Daikin, Japanese-based Daikin, is located in Neemrana, Rajasthan. Remember, okay? So, first fully owned such facility owned by Daikin in India is located where? This can be important. Remember, it is located in Neemrana, Rajasthan. Okay. Then Wipro has signed a definitive agreement to acquire 100% shareholding in Applied Value Technologies for $40 million. This is not so much important, just skip this one. Then you have BEML, the Bharat Earth Movers Limited. BEML has signed an MOU with your NHPC, National Hydroelectric Power Corporation, for developing solutions for hydroelectric power plants in India and enhancing the capacity. So remember this one, the MOU between BEML and NHPC. Then you have Global Logic. Global Logic has partnered with Nokia to accelerate the adoption of 5G and 4G enterprise solutions. So this is for the better adoption and accelerated adoption of 5G and 4G solutions. Collaboration between whom? Between Global Logic and Nokia. Remember this thing. Then moving on to science tech section. So science tech mein you first have the Orinpro's subsidiary Arya.ai. Arya.ai has introduced Arya XAI. Remember, Arya XAI. What is this? This is advanced AI explainability platform. Explainability platform. Now, this is particularly designed for strategic or high stakes sectors like financial services, like healthcare, like defense. So, complicated strategic and high stake sectors के लिए they have devised this to help in explanation of different models being developed for these sectors, right? Remember, Arya X AI. Then next is Chennai based Agnikul Cosmos. Okay, Agnikul Cosmos, Chennai based Agnikul Cosmos is to develop and commercialize Agni Ban, is trying to develop and commercialize Agni Ban, which is going to be a two-stage launch vehicle. What is this Agni Ban? Agni Ban is a launch vehicle. Launch vehicle, they are used to launch the satellites and other space crafts in the orbits, right? So this is going to be two-stage launch vehicle, will be capable of delivering payloads. Payloads mean, payloads basically they mean whatever gets on board the launch vehicle to be launched into the specific orbit is the payload, right? Payload of up to 300 kg. So it can carry 300 kg of the items to orbit at 700 kilometer of the altitude. Now this basically project Agniban wants to make satellite launches more accessible, efficient and affordable. Okay, to make satellite launches more affordable and accessible. Next is Google unveils VO2. Okay, so Google has unveiled VO2. What is this VO? VO is basically AI video generation model. So remember, just remember these models and to whom do they belong. This much only will be relevant, but this can be important. So remember, this VO2 belongs to Google, and recently Sora was in news. Sora was released by OpenAI, and we have discussed Sora already in the previous current affairs. So remember, Sora belongs to OpenAI and VO2 belongs to Google. Okay, VO2 belongs to Google. Then you have Vodafone Idea has confirmed the launch of its 5G services in select circles. Okay, so 5G services by Vodafone Idea. Then you have European Union has recently signed a contract for IRIS2. What is this IRIS2? IRIS2, infrastructure for resilience, interconnectivity and security by satellite. Remember the full form as well, IRIS2. It is a multi-orbital constellation of 290 satellites. How many? 290 satellites they are going to, okay, launch. They will be having multiple orbits, 290 satellites. So this is IRIS2, infrastructure for resilience and interconnectivity and security by satellite. They are trying to develop this, okay, to offer connectivity services to governmental users as well as private companies and individuals, like mobile, broadband, satellite access, etc. These improving the connectivity basically, right? For this, they are trying to develop this constellation, 290 satellites, remember. So IRIS2, this is important, remember, belongs to European Union, or IRIS square. So basically S square this is, right? Security and satellite. Remember the full form as well. Then next one is IIT Ropar has inaugurated state-of-the-art Tinkerers Lab. Okay, Tinkerers Lab. Tinkerers Lab is basically providing real-time experience to innovate and experiment for developing innovative ideas. Then you have Infosys has launched Google Cloud Center. Infosys has launched Google Cloud Center for Center of Excellence powered by Infosys Topaz. Okay, this is again to foster enterprise AI innovation. Not important, just factual information is important here. Then you have the DSCI, Data Security Council of India. DSCI, Data Security Council of India. It has partnered with IRDAI. Okay, IRDAI. So DSCI, IRDAI partnered to launch Preview. What is this? This is again AI powered tool that generates privacy notices for companies. Privacy notices for companies. Okay. Now, what does that mean? It would ensure these will be sent to companies who are in any way collecting customer data. And this privacy notice will secure your private data, right? So, it will ensure customers' data privacy. Whatever you get collected should have certain adhering to the privacy norms. So basically these kind of consent forms. These companies, they will be providing users under the Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023 before collecting and processing such personal data. So these will be kind of detailed, consent forms which will be taking consent from the customer. Okay, remember. And this DSCI is a data protection body. Remember, DSCI is a data protection body developed by or set up by NASSCOM, National Association of Software and Service Companies. And NASSCOM chairman presently is Sindhu Gangadharan. President of NASSCOM is Rajesh Nambiar. Remember this thing. Moving on to defense section. In defense, you have the steel cutting ceremony of the first ship of the next generation missile vessel being built for Indian Navy was held recently at Cochin Shipyard. So what is this? NGMV, next generation missile vessel. This is, first of all, remember the fact, this is being built by Cochin Shipyard Limited, the NGMV. Okay, next generation missile vessel being built for the Indian Navy, Cochin Shipyard Limited. Under this, 6 of such NGMVs are to be built. How many? 6. Okay. From 2027 it is scheduled to get commenced. Now, since you can see missile written over here, so they will have surface to surface missile systems, okay, anti-missile defense systems, air surveillance and fire control radar. These highly advanced defense technologies they will be equipped with. They will be equipped with surface to surface missile. Surface to surface means surface to surface, right? So launched from surface and the destination, the target would be on surface. This is surface to surface. And fire control radar, air surveillance, all these will be equipped, the NGMV will be equipped with. So remember how many? 6 are being developed by whom? By the Cochin Shipyard Limited. This can be an important question. By Cochin Shipyard Limited. Moving on to the next news. Next one is the Pawan Hans Limited. Pawan Hans Limited has secured 10-year contract for almost rupees 2000 crore for supplying 4 Dhruv NG helicopters. How many? 4 Dhruv NG helicopters, which are manufactured by the HAL, okay, to Oil and Natural Gas Corporation. So 4 such helicopters, Dhruv NG helicopters, they will be supplied to ONGC. This contract has been given to Pawan Hans Limited to supply this. But remember, these are developed, manufactured by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. These helicopters are being manufactured by HAL but will be supplied by Pawan Hans. Then you have INCOIS, the Indian National Center for Ocean Information Services. It has upgraded its search and research aid tool, SARAT. Okay. So please remember this thing, SARAT. Please remember the full form as well. What is this SARAT? SARAT is Search and Rescue Aid Tool. Search and Rescue Aid Tool of the Indian National Center for Ocean Information Services. Now what happens is ocean based activities, certain rescue operations are to be taken up, right? So this basically SARAT aids and helps in sea rescue operations, identifying such locations, helping in rescuing people out there. So SARAT basically was launched in 2016 and it can identify missing objects, individuals, and can help in the rescue operations. Moving on to indices and rankings. First of all, second edition of IDFC First Private Banking and Huron India's top 200 self-made entrepreneurs of Millennia 2024 report is out. So it says in the list of top 5 self-made entrepreneurs, you have Radha Kishan Damani at the first. Second is Dipinder Goyal, Zomato founder, at the second. Then third, also you have DMart's Damani. So Radhakrishnan Damani, DMart promoter, Dipinder Goyal, Zomato founder, they are there. If we talk about the cities, so remember Bengaluru. Remember, in the list, individuals from 46 cities nationwide have been included. Bengaluru leads the chart with 98 entrepreneurs, followed by Mumbai 73 and New Delhi 51. So in India, almost 46 cities have been taken into consideration for this ranking. So which city is at the top? Bengaluru is at the top from self-made entrepreneurs, in terms of self-made entrepreneurs. Then moving on to reports. Remember Bengaluru? Reports mein you have, according to a recent data by IEA, International Energy Agency. Recent data by IEA, the global demand for coal is set to hit fresh records every year through at least 2027. It has just said that the global demand for coal is going to rise almost every year by 2027 at least. Okay. But why this is a concern? Because all the countries, they have net zero emission target set up, right? To have net zero emission by 2050. For this, you need to reduce the global demand for coal, because coal is a very important contributor in the polluting gases, right? Then next one we have is budgeting for net zero. Government support needed to meet India's 2030 clean energy goals. Okay. This basically is a report. It says India is on a track to meet its 2030 clean energy goals for solar power and battery energy storage systems. So India has its goals specified clearly. We have discussed number of times, and we discuss whenever it comes 2030 tak. How many gigawatts or megawatts, tell me, do we have to achieve from the renewable sources of energy? Anyone? So this report is basically saying that India is on the right track to meet its goals. Now, what is the goal is something which you will be telling me. Okay. Then we have, according to a report titled FICCI EV Public Charging Station Infrastructure Roadmap 2030, India will need 16,000 crore rupees in capital expenditure to meet its public charging demand by 2030. EV sector is growing fast, but EV requires public charging stations as well, right? Public charging stations. So you need, this report basically says India will need 16,000 crores of capital expenditure, CAPEX. What is CAPEX? Capital expenditure means whatever government spends, expenditure on infrastructure coming from government or private sector. एक होता है consumption expenditure and one is capital expenditure. Like I have purchased an AC for my own consumption. Say consumption means for my own household, where am I residing? That is consumption expenditure, right? But if I have purchased same AC for the purpose of applying it somewhere where some economic activity is going on, like factory or office, it will be capital expenditure because it is helping me out in carrying out that business. Are you getting my point? So this is the difference. So if you look at the 2030 target, we want to achieve 30% electrification by 2030. 30% of such electric vehicles by 2030 and such public charging stations. So this is easy to remember this target. See, 30% and 30. ईयर में भी लास्ट में 30 एंड टारगेट में भी 30 है इलेक्ट्रिफिकेशन का जो है व्हीकल्स का. ओके, सो रिमेंबर 30% एंड 30, इजी टू रिमेंबर. and this report was released by FICCI. Then if you see states like Uttar Pradesh, Delhi, Gujarat, they right now they have no or low fixed tariffs, but still there are states which are having high tariffs on public charging stations and EVs, etc., making them costlier to install such infrastructure. We have to do something in this regard. Then you have, according to CoinSwitch's annual investor report, India's crypto portfolio 2024, how India invests. According to this report, Delhi NCR has solidified its position as leader in India's crypto adoption. Okay, so Delhi NCR is the leader in crypto adoption in India, in the cryptocurrency adoption in India, right? So Delhi NCR is at the top, followed by Bengaluru and Mumbai. Remember this. Followed by Bengaluru and Mumbai. So crypto mein traders and investors are having a deep interest, and second and third position where you have Bitcoin and Ethereum attracting a lot of investors. Okay. Then awards, books and festivals mein, awards mein you have Brazil. Okay. So Brazil and Real Madrid based Vinicius Junior. Okay. Vinicius Junior has been crowned with the Men's Player of the Year at the FIFA Best Awards held in Doha, Qatar. Okay, so remember, Player of the Year at FIFA Best Awards goes to Vinicius Junior. Okay. Then Spain and Barcelona midfielder Aitana Bonmati has won or was named as Women's Player of the Year for second consecutive year. So remember these two terms, Vinicius Junior and your Aitana Bonmati, Women's Player of the Year. Other important awardees are mentioned here. You can go and read about them. Best FIFA Men's Goalkeeper, Emiliano Martinez from Manchester City, Brazil. Best FIFA Women's Goalkeeper, Alessa from Chicago Red Stars, USA. Then Best FIFA Men's Coach, Carlo Ancelotti from Real Madrid. Then you have Best FIFA Women's Coach, Emma Hayes from Chelsea in USA. FIFA Puskás Award, you have Alejandro. Then FIFA Fan Award, and then FIFA Fair Play Award, Thiago Maia. So you can remember these categories, but please remember these two names, Women's Player of the Year and Men's Player of the Year. This can be more important than the other categories. If you can remember the other names, please remember at least these two names, okay? Vinicius Junior and Aitana Bonmati. Next one, Abu Dhabi's Zed International Airport has been crowned as most beautiful airport in the world in 2024 Prix Versailles International Architecture Awards. So Abu Dhabi's Zed International Airport is the most beautiful airport worldwide. Remember. Then you have one novel in news. Remember the name, कौन देश को वासी वेनु की डायरी. Remember the name, कौन देश को वासी वेनु की डायरी. Current affairs classes right now are taking place at 10 a.m. regularly. Okay. These classes, they happen generally at 10 a.m. Sometimes 5-10 minutes will be there, but the time allocated to this class is 10 a.m. You can continue with the classes and gradually you will understand what we are discussing, right? When you are continually connected in the classes, it will be easier for you to understand. कौन देश को वासी वेनु की डायरी, this is the novel in news, and remember the author, this is by Suryabala. It has been selected for 34th Vyas Samman 2024. Remember, it has been selected for 34th Vyas Samman. PIB and RBI circular sessions will be conducted soon. Don't worry about that. कौन देश को वासी वेनु की डायरी, remember 34th व्यास सम्मान. this samman, basically this award has been given for outstanding Hindi literary work, okay, by an Indian citizen, published during the last 10 years. This has been provided. Cash prize of 4 lakh is also there. So this is an important award, please remember. Then next you have Ram Temple. The Ram Temple project in Ayodhya has begged Sword of Honor award from the British Safety Council. So from the British Safety Council, remember the name of the temple and remember the name of the award as well. The Ram Temple project of Ayodhya has bagged this award. What is the name of the award? Sword of Honor. Sword of Honor from British Safety Council. For what? For safety management, okay, and the architecture of the temple, right? So safety management. On-site activity assessment के basis पे they provide this award for proper safety management at such places, and for this it has been awarded to Ram Temple, Ayodhya. Next is festivals. Festivals category में you have Rashtrapati Nilayam, okay, at Secunderabad. It will host 15-day flower and horticultural festival Udyan Utsav from December 29, 2024. So this Udyan Utsav is going to be held at Rashtrapati Nilayam in Secunderabad. Okay, tell me one thing. Rashtrapati Nilayam is what? Very important fact this is, okay? Tell me. Anyone? Can anyone tell me what is Rashtrapati Nilayam? Okay. I will be waiting for your answers in the comment section. So they are going to have this 15-day flower and horticultural festival, Udyan Utsav. Then sports category mein, you have Indian Navy's Kiran Ankush Jadhav has clinched men's 50-meter rifle 3-position title at 67th National Shooting Championship. So at the 67th National Shooting Championship, Kiran Ankush has clinched the 50-meter rifle 3-position title. Then you have the Asian Youth and Junior Weightlifting Championship 2024. It has begun on 19th December 2024, right? It has started on 19th December. Asian Youth and Junior Weightlifting Championship. Where it has started, remember the location as well, in Doha, Qatar, where 40 categories may it will be held. Then next you have India's Pranav Venkatesh has created history. India's Pranav Venkatesh has created history by clinching both the FIDE World Under 18 Youth Rapid and Blitz titles in Slovenia in the chess, right? So chess may you see, chess is a game which is bringing a lot of prestige and fame to India. Right, recently you see the record created by the Gukesh. Again you have something coming out from chess. So remember another history created by Indians in the chess, Pranav Venkatesh. Okay, he has clinched the FIDE World Under 18 Youth Rapid and Blitz titles in Slovenia. Then next you have the Indian all-rounder Ravi Chandran Ashwin, very famous cricket player, right? So Ravi Chandran Ashwin has announced retirement from international cricket with immediate effect. Ravi Chandran Ashwin has announced retirement from international cricket. If we talk about his achievements, so his second highest wicket taker in India. Okay, you can remember other important facts. Although he'll continue playing T20 tournaments, but international tournaments will not be there. In badminton, Indian women's doubles pair, Teresa Jolly and Gayatri Gopichand, they have achieved their career best world ranking of 11. Remember, 11 in the latest BWF world rankings. Okay. Who is world number 1 in this ranking in women's double? Li Shengshu and Tang Ning of China. Okay. So remember, Teresa Jolly and Gayatri Gopichand, they have achieved their world ranking of 11 in the This is best ranking they have ever received in the BWF World Rankings. Then next one is Team Asia has clinched title at the inaugural Waldner Cup in Oslo, Norway. Okay. Remember this fact. Team Asia has clinched this title in the Waldner Cup. Right. So they have defeated Team World, and India's representation in Team Asia was Manika Batra. Other countries who participated: China, South Korea, Kazakhstan. So remember this Waldner Cup and tell me which sport does it belongs to. Yes, anyone? Tell me in the comment section. So I'm giving you a lot of questions today, right? First of all, tell me, what did I ask you? Yes, what is Rashtrapati Nilayam? And second question I'm giving you, tell me Waldner Cup. This Waldner Cup belongs to which game? Okay. And other countries, this tell me in the comment section, Waldner Cup belongs to which country? Other countries who participated: China, South Korea, Kazakhstan. India, remember, was represented by Manika Batra. Remember this name, okay? Then you have Indian cricketer Jasprit Bumrah broke Kapil Dev's record in the third test against Australia at Gaba. So he has broke Kapil Dev's record, okay, to claim 52nd wicket in Australia. So what is the record? He has 52 wickets to his name in 10 tests played so far in Australia, and Kapil Dev finished his career with 51 wickets in 11 tests played on Australian soil. So this record has been broke. So remember the name who has broken this record: Jasprit Bumrah. Then you have English cricketers, Brunt and Boshier. They have set a record for the fastest test century by a women and test debut. Okay. This can be less of significance out of all other news if you remember priority voice. Talking about the appointments, President of Nepal, Ramachandra Podal, has reappointed Dr. Shankar Prasad Sharma as the resident ambassador of Nepal to India. So, Dr. Shankar Prasad Sharma is the resident ambassador of Nepal to India. Then next, your IRA, Indian REITs Association, has appointed Alok Agrawal as MD and CEO of Brookfield India Real Estate Trust. Then Ram Mohan Rao Amara appointed as MD of the State Bank of India for a period of 3 years now. So this can be an important appointment. Remember this name for all the SBI JA aspirants, right? Or SBI related examination. Ram Mohan Rao Amara, Managing Director of the State Bank of India for a period of 3 years with effect from 18 December 2024. So now up to 3 years he will be there, right? So 3 साल में जो भी पेपर होंगे उसके लिए this will be important. Conferences में you have Union Minister Prahlad Joshi has recently attended this 5th edition of CII International Energy Conference and Exhibition, where it was held in New Delhi. What was the theme? Global dialogue on energy transformation, where they have deliberated on how can at the global level energy consumption patterns and installation and generation patterns be transformed towards sustainable energy solutions, where they have highlighted that India has successfully added nearly 15 gigawatts of renewable energy capacity between April to November 2024. Remember how many? 15 gigawatts. And what is India's target for 2030? So this was the question I was asking you. Please remember this target. This is a very important fact and a probable area of question. So target for 2030 is 500 gigawatts of non-fossil fuel capacity by 2030. We have to achieve 500 gigawatts of energy capacity in non-fossil fuel based energy generation by 2030. This is our target. This is very important. Remember this fact, okay, for all the examinations. Then next one, committees, if we talk, so Parliamentary Standing Committee on Labour, it has recommended that center should increase the minimum pension, which is presently 1,000 rupees paid by the EPFO under its employees pension scheme. So under the employee pension scheme, they have suggested that center should increase this minimum amount of 1,000 rupees, increase this from it, okay. Since 2014, it is 1,000 per month. They want to increase this. This is the suggestion. What is this EPS? EPS, Employees Pension Scheme. This is a defined contribution, defined benefit social security scheme. So this is kind of a social security scheme. What is a social security scheme? It like pension, like maturity benefit, right? So they provide you security of your existence in the society, basically, है ना? So social security scheme it is. And it defines, why defined contribution? Because set contribution will be there, how much the employee will contribute, how much the employer will contribute in this. So you have employer contribution at 8.33% of your salary or the wages, okay. Central government contribution 1.16% of the wages or 15,000 per month. Then formula is of no use. Do not remember the formula here. You just remember the contribution, okay. What points you have to remember are these. This can be an important section. This static portion can be important. Direct facts can be asked in the examination. Remember, in the this section, employees provident fund way, what is minimum contribution? So we have seen here in the pension scheme, what is the contribution? Employer contribution is 8.33% of the wage in this EPS, okay. What about the other social security schemes like EPF, EPS, the ADLIS, etc. So provident fund में employer contribution कितना है? Remember these figures. Provident fund में employer contribution is 3.67%. एम्प्लॉइज पेंशन स्कीम में 8.33 अभी किया हमने, राइट. एंड एम्प्लॉइज डिपॉजिट लिंक्ड इंश्योरेंस स्कीम में 0.5%. रिमेंबर दीज कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशंस. Okay, I'll try speak in Hindi as well in between, but I cannot translate everything in Hindi in the class, right? Because it will take a lot of time then. So यहाँ पर हमने देखा employer का contribution in all these things. Remember these are fixed contributions, so you should be remembering these things. I hope it is clear. अब दूसरे segment को देखते हैं obituaries में. Obituaries में you have Padma Shri awardee Tulsi Goda, a very famous environmentalist from Karnataka, and who is revered for the tree goddess by Halakki tribal community, has died at 86. And Tulsi Goda was a Padma Shri awardee in 2021. Padma Shri award इन्हें दिया गया था 2021 में. Then you have Pandit Sanjay Ram Marathe, जो बहुत famous classical singer हैं and harmonium artist, passed away at 68. Important days की बात करें तो minorities rights day, rights of the minorities is celebrated on 18th December annually. So recently minorities rights day was there. Next, good governance week. Good governance week. Good governance week, remember, is observed from 19th to 24th December. So recently 19th to 24th December Good Governance Week has been celebrated 19 से 24 दिसंबर. एंड इसके साथ साथ एक कैंपेन भी चालू किया प्रशासन गांव की ओर. रिमेंबर, प्रशासन गांव की ओर, टू ब्रिंग बेटर गवर्नेंस एट द रूरल लेवल ऑल्सो. ओके, 2024. देन वी हैव पेंशनर्स डे. पेंशनर्स डे किस दिन मनाया जाता है? 17th दिसंबर इन इंडिया. Then we have International Migrants Day. Who are the migrants? Who leave their domestic places for work or for other purposes. Migrants, right? International Migrants Day celebrated, remember, globally on December 18. What was the theme for this year? This year the theme was honoring the contributions of migrants and respecting their rights. Okay. Then now one thing, news is over. For 17th and 18th December we have covered. 17th and 18th December हमने पूरा डिस्कस कर लिया है. एक नई चीज हमने ऐड की है कंटेंट में, राइट? सो दिस इज गोइंग टू हेल्प ऑल ऑफ यू इन ऑल द एग्जामिनेशन, बिकॉज the main struggle which all the aspirants they face is conceptual clarity. Although in the class I am explaining you all the concepts, but when you revise the content you tend to forget that discussion, right? So we are providing you financial guide section in the current affairs PDF now onwards. Okay, so from this PDF onwards you will get financial guide separately. This financial guide you will have concepts in the news, basic financial or economic concepts and terminologies and their definitions, okay, listed out in one particular box. So you will not have to go and search them on the Google. It will save your time. So these are important concepts which remain in news during this period of time where the PDF is covering, like 17 to 18 December, you will be provided with these terminologies as financial guide. Important financial terms will be provided, a kind of glossary it will be. So this is going to be there in your PDFs from now onwards. It is going to help you. Now it's time for top 5 questions as we do at the end of the session from today's discussion, right? It's time for the short series or the top 5 questions. Quickly answer me. First question. In the second edition of IDFC First Private Banking and Euro India's Top 200 Self-Made Entrepreneur Ranking, which city in India is at the top? कौन सी city ने top किया है इस ranking में? Tell me quickly. कौन सी city ने top किया है Self-Made Entrepreneurs of the Millennia Rankings 2024? Which city is at the first rank or has topped the list? Anyone? Tell me quickly. So at the end of this class, we discussed these top 5 MCQs, you know that, right? So this was discussed in the class itself. Tell me what is the correct option? Correct option would be Bengaluru. Okay. Option B, Bangalore is at the top, having maximum numbers of self-made entrepreneurs. So Bengaluru is the right option. Next question, question number 2. Who has been recently awarded with Men's Player of the Year FIFA Best Awards 2024? Men's Player of the Year FIFA Best Awards 2024. Men's Player of the Year FIFA Best Awards 2024. Who has been awarded with this? See, if you don't remember, you can still answer. There's no issue with that, okay? Yeah, just try to answer in the class, and if you are wrong, try to correct it, okay? उसे ठीक कीजिए. Then Aditya, very good. A is the correct answer here. Vincius Junior, okay? A is the right option. And if you remember the Women's Player of the Year, if you remember the Women's Player of the Year, you can tell me. If anyone remembers Women's Player of the Year, you can tell me. So next question, which of the following novel has won 34th Vyas Samman 2024? Tell me. Out of these options, which novel has received this 34th Vyas Samman 2024? Which novel has received 34th Vyas Samman 2024? Tell me quickly. The correct option would be option A. कौन देश को वासी वेनु की डायरी. Okay, कौन देश को वासी वेनु की डायरी is the novel receiving 34th Vyas Samman 2024. Question number 4. Ram Temple project in Ayodhya has recently received award from the British Council, Safety Council. Okay. Which is the name of the award? What is this award accoladed to Ram Temple in Ayodhya by the British Safety Council for security in the premises? Which is the name of the award? Tell me quickly. The correct option would be Sword of Honor, right? A is the right option. Sword of Honor. Remember, Sword of Honor is the award given by British Safety Council to Ram Temple for security, ensuring security in the campus activity. So A is the right answer here. A, Sword of Honor. Last question of the short series. International Migrants Day was recently observed. So it is annually observed on which date? To highlight the migrants' contributions and challenges they face. On which date International Migrants Day is observed annually? Tell me. Question number 5, last question of the short series. International Migrants Day is observed annually on? Very good. December 18, right? E is the correct option here. December 18 it is observed. So these were the top 5 questions for today. And we have completed the 17 to 18 December news analysis. I hope, and in the part 1 which I took yesterday, going to be very important, we have discussed SEBI related guidelines, right? Recent decisions are out by SEBI in which I have tried to explain you all the complicated concepts. So if you have not watched that class, go through the video, right? It's going to aid you in the financial concepts. Okay, तो कल जो क्लास ली थी पार्ट 1, उसमें सारी चीजें हैं, सेबी की जो गाइडलाइंस आई थी, दिस वाज पार्ट 2. So we are done with 17 to 18 December. I will be taking up next in the next session. Till then, have a great day. Thank you so much for staying tuned in the class. I'll see you all in the next class. Thank you so much. Have a good day.